With a lot of air conditioning noise behind Jeffrey because it is warm, let's get into Jeffrey's top 10 games from 1983 to play on your Commodore 65.
Are you leveling up with the Jeffrey? 'Cause the Jeffrey is leveling up with you.
Let's boot up the machine. Dum, 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 dum. Of course, this is a Mega 65, guys, but I'm positioning this video to be a video for Commodore 65. Hopefully in the future we can buy one, right? Under Perifractic's Commodore brand. Hey. Coming in at number 10, Conga Bongo. We have to wait for this screen to continue. Okay, press 1, press J for joystick. Let's go. So Jeffrey, why did you pick this for number 10? That's an odd choice, man. Well, let's first go over the parameters why we got this list that we have today. It is a bit of a personal list, but I've also taken a sort of a bird's eye view and be like, what do we have? I opened Lemon 64. There are like 600 games on Lemon 64 for 1983. So Jeffrey looked at those and I was like, okay, let's pick some really good ones here. And I ended up with a list of 20 or something. And then I was like, how well do these games play? What do they look like? Would my daughter pick this one over the other? And so I started distilling down this list till I got this top 10. But I have to say, it was really close for all the positions, right? But what did it with this game for Jeffrey in the end is, I guess, it just oozes personality. It's a great game loop. I can play this really for a long time and still enjoy myself. It's also because of the graphics. It's really weird kind of isometric perspective, making this game really stand out. And for some reason, it actually plays pretty well, even if it looks so weird in a way. Yeah, like I said, it's personality. Of course, the SID chip can do much better, but this is 1983. Let's not forget that. Most games didn't have great tunes. This has a tune, eh? And believe me, from the games that I ended up with, this is just a great pick. I think you can't go wrong on your Commodore 65 if you want to explore something from 1983. The monkeys don't kill you, by the way; they slow you down. Just think I comment on that. Yeah, for anyone who played this back in the day on whatever device you could get your hands on, or arcade or whatever, maybe this is not even the best version of them all. But for your Commodore 65, this is the version you will get, right? And believe me, it plays pretty decent. I kid you not. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? Ocean Software presents Hunchback, coming in at number 9 by John Steele. Press space to start. Joystick. Place joystick import 2. It is there. Also a great pick on your Commodore 65, guys, if you want to experience something from 1983. This is a great take on the platforming aspect, on the platforming genre aspect. Like little challenges, single screen, go to the bell, ring the bell, and progress the stages as indicated in the bottom left. There's a little guy climbing up here, he's trying to come up and then try and grab you. But not let him have that. Not have what's happening, Jeffrey? I don't know. Calm down for a second, Jeffrey. Play. Yeah, let's play. Let's enjoy this. It is perhaps not the prettiest game. It has tunes, just like Conga Bongo, right? What else can we say? Great concept, yes. It has sort of pixel-perfect jumpings going on. That is maybe the only gripe why it is also not positioned higher on this list. Because it is just good fun. Really. Jeffrey likes it a lot. We have a modern thing, actually. It's called Good Night. Icon 64 game. Released by Cytronics. I'll show you the box in a sec. Hop! There it is. You can pick that one up if you like beefier graphics and better music, more levels. It's a really great version to play. Really good modern take on this classic, I have to say. Maybe some of you know this game concept in the name with the name Punchy from Mr. Micro. Mr. Micro released that one as well on the. It released it on the Commodore 64. I don't actually know about the ZX Spectrum version. Oh fuck! This is always good fun, guys. Just mash your button up. That's how I deal with that stupid arrow. And you need to remember when you enter this level, like, Stupid arrow incoming. Jeffrey always forgets. I can't hate the game for it. And the pixel perfect platforming is actually fine in this game for some reason. Maybe it's not that pixel perfect as people like to complain about. Jump late with that with his Tarzan rope. There's a better name for that, Jeffrey. Jump as late as possible, then you make the jump. And the same goes for all these jumps over these guys. Jeffrey did have a shitty version of Hunchback back in the day as a kid, which was Robin to the Rescue, which doesn't play in the Mega 65. So one criteria, of course, for making this list was it has to play in the Mega 65. And I will have one honorable mention at the end of this list, where I have something sort of playing on the Mega 65, but not quite there yet, which would have been high up in the list. But game, don't throw the ball the whole time and then point the stick when Jeffrey tries to jump. Do I need to jump together with the ball? Then now I can. Funky! See how much fun this is? I have never completed this one yet in my modern years of discovering this game for the first time and playing it. But I do love playing this one better, maybe. So yeah, there you have it. Hunchback. Let's move on to the next one while Jeffrey kills himself. Donkey motherfucking Kong on 8. Oh yeah. But why is it on 8, Jeffrey? Why isn't it higher? Yeah, if it was Jeffrey's personal list, then Jeffrey would have rated this probably a little bit higher. But I can see the game for what it is, guys. I can see the game for what it is. And 8 from a pool of 600, that is still fucking awesome, right? Okay. I'm playing with port 1 now. That's why the stick is changed, because I keep the other stick in port 2. Up. This game, guys, it's awesome, of course. It's number 8 on the top 10 list even. Come on. Any decent port of the arcade classic is a good game in my book. But yeah, look at it. I mean, it's a bit blocky, but a bit wide, maybe. It is a bit slow. It is not the very best thing out there. Before 1983 Donkey Kong on the Commodore 64 or your Commodore 65, hell yeah, this is a win. And I can play this really well normally, but not today. Let's get to the next level at least. Eh? Losing one life already, god damn it. There! I can play Donkey Kong. God damn it. Coming in at 7. Frogger. This specific version. There are more Froggers out there. 3 that I saw already on the Lemon 64 for 1983. But this is the version that you need to look out for, guys. This is great. It's probably port 1. It's probably space. It's probably F1. F1. Port 2. Oh yeah. There's always a thing with these games, right? Now, this is the first game on the list in the top 10. Out of 5 games in the top 10. This is the first one that controls remarkably well. It is very snappy, very instant, controls very good. I can't explain it otherwise. This is pure arcade magic fun. With a nice tune. Which is a very nice tune for 1983. There are a couple better ones, sure. But it's catchy. I think this also plays in the arcade version, doesn't it? Of course, also a rendition of a known old tune. Which one is it? Can't put my finger on it right now. Hop, hop. Oh yeah. I can spend a long time playing this, guys. I kid you not. It's fast. It's Frogger. And don't forget it. Frogger is a genre of its own. If there's like any game that is like cross the road to get to the end, to get your man safe or do whatever there, it's a Frogger game, right? There's nothing else that I like it out there. There are top-down games, sure. Jesus, Jeffrey, you're blabbing, right? But it's a genre-defining game. You have a couple of those. Like, anytime you see pedals... Jesus. Anytime you see two-player pedals playing a sort of a tennis game, it's Pong, right? If you see one pedal down in the bottom, a single-player game, that's Breakout, right? There is no other name for these genres. It's a genre-defining game. Frogger is one of those. And I love it. Shall we move on to the next one? Or do you want to see Jeffrey go game over? Let's do Jeffrey game over, okay? Now I'm going to push for it. My last life. Stay alive as long as possible. Oh, fucking hell. See? Good fun. Paul Norman's Forbidden Forest. Oh yeah. This is a masterpiece, guys. So why is it only on 6th position? I quickly check my notes. I put it to 6, yeah. Why is it only on 6? Well, from all the games on this top 10, I think this one is the least fun to control. But it is a masterpiece in every other regard. You can even get the chicken skin, you know, because you feel the horror, and that maybe it controlling as it controls adds to the horror sphere. The horror, yeah, it adds to the horror. So the controls are not all that bad. No, that's why I put it also on top 5 out of 600 games. Sorry, 6th position. I have to say that it was a struggle to get some of these positions going. I mean, if it was up to me, I would just make not the top 10 list, but the top 10 list is better for YouTube. I would just say, oh, these 10 games are great for your Commodore 65. That's how I would have positioned this video if it weren't for the algorithm. Yeah. Ooh, Jeffrey, selling out to the algorithm. Yeah. That's how you grow channels, guys. But let's talk about this game. Jesus, what a thing. The music. Very atmospheric. Great tune. Big enemies on screen. Your guy has a little bug when he faces left. It's like he has a pen against his face. Look, there. all adding to the atmosphere, right? Yeah. So you have little quivers in the bottom of the screen. Those are arrows. You can run out of those. Also adding to the horror. This dance moves that he does in between levels takes forever. Maybe also a little gripe is that one. I like that one for the ability so I can sip on my wine. Yes. Ooh, almost had you, little bee. There's a great variety as well in these enemies that you need to kill. But maybe I can show you the frog still that's coming next quickly. If I can catch the bee before the bee catches me. That should have been a hit. You can sort of cheese the bee by moving. The bee is stuck there. It doesn't do its moves then. It's just sitting there. So you can sneak up on it and then shoot your arrow from up close. Yeah, little tip from the Jeffrey playing this game. Yeah, so this dance move is not that great. It feels a bit clunky. I have to say, on the Mega 65, and it's probably going to be the same for any future iteration of this machine, the C65, because of the faster CPU, I think this game plays a little bit faster. We've tested that before, like quite a while back. Where I booted up on real hardware, probably also emulation, and this thing just in a lot of ways just plays a bit faster. Which is not a bad thing, I think. It makes it so that the controls do feel a bit snappier than normal. Which is nice. If this thing can be played in NTSC, if that is a possibility, I don't know. I can imagine that also being a very fine improvement for the game. For the feel of the game. Because especially playing it on the PAL C64 original hardware, yes. Sluggish, but yeah, perhaps that's adding to the horror, like I said. Okay, enough about this masterpiece. I love it. Great game. Next! Jumpman Jr. coming in at 5. Get Jeffrey's first game on the Commodore 64, my first computer game even, that I played. This started it for me. My hobby. It's raining outside, by the way. Yeah. The recording continues. So, did this play on Mega 65, Jeffrey? You tested this way back and you said it didn't play, right? Well, we did a video on this, guys. Jeffrey fixed it. We did it. So if you want to play this on your Commodore 65 in the future, there is a possibility you may need help from the Jeffrey. You can either check the video. I didn't share this disc that I made anywhere, but I think you can be creative and figure out how to get it yourself, right? Should be possible. I love this game, guys. I play it always on speed 2 or speed 3. This is speed 3. It's a bit slower than 2. 1 is fastest. That is craziness. So you can sort of divine how snappy it is for you, because the higher speeds do feel better. I have to say 3 already feels a bit sluggish on my end. And 2 is so fast sometimes that you can't follow. Need fast hands. But that feels great. It feels really great to play. But if you're struggling with the game and you need practice, put it in 3 or 4. Don't go too low. Yeah, you can technically also put it in 7, I think. That's like slow motion speed. But there is no feel for the controls then. It controls like shit then, basically. Unresponsive even, I believe. Like you have to really press the input long for Jumpman to respond, sort of ish. If you know what I mean, if it makes sense, I don't know. Anyway, this is a great platformer in 1983. There's not a lot of great platformers out there. Otherwise you get into this Manic Miner territory, I'm going to assume. Which is nothing like this. This is pure arcade fun, I would say. Yeah. This is one of those controls really well kind of games, just like Frogger. It really is. Especially if I'm actually sad that I didn't select Speed 2 for myself. I know this game so well I can play on Speed 2, I should do that. Feels just a tad better, and Jeffrey is making a mess of it because we're blabbing. And we're going to move on to number 4. Pharaoh's Curse. Yeah, that's my number 4. It doesn't go in top 3, no. But this is a good game, guys. You have to forgive the title music being a bit randomish. Let's press the fire to begin. There we go, level 1. It's an exploration game. We didn't have really much of those in the lineup, right? That already makes it worth to include it. And every treasure you pick up is an extra life, and the name of the game is just roam and explore and shoot things. We can shoot in this game, yes. It's an awesome package. For a 1983 game, yes, there's a lot here. It is not perfect, of course, and I was struggling to, with Jumpman Jr. or this one, which is better, I don't know. I give this one a leg up because always when I, like, not having touched a 1983 game for a while, this always pops back in my head and I'm thinking with rose-tinted glasses back to how awesome this is. But it is awesome. I can't find much fault in this game. Kicking off the top 3 with Heavy Rain outside, Kid Grid. This is a great game that Jeffrey grew up with. It was not Jumpman Jr., my first game. It was not Frantic Freddy, my second game. It was somewhere though in the first 10 games that Jeffrey played, and for some reason everyone seemed to play this game back in the day. I come over at nephews and my uncle even, who must have been in his 20s back then. He was still living with my grandpa and grandma, and I was there growing up, and he was playing Kid Grid, and then we took turns, I remember, like see who can get the better score at Kid Grid, you know? Good times. And I see why. This is a great gridder, guys. Of course the original is like Armadar, probably, from the arcades. That's the one everyone knows. There are a lot of Armador clones as well on the C64, but I think this game does it the right way. And technically, it is a bit different than Armador in some ways. Armador has a leg up in that it has alternating play styles and has a bonus game. Kid Grid doesn't have. It's not needed. If it plays, really nice, and this plays really nice. It sounds really nice. This one has great sound effects. There's not really much of music going on, unless, yeah, you die. Wait. Did I run through the enemies there for a bit? That looked funny. I wonder if it plays correctly on the Mega 65. That looks shady. Okay. Or it is maybe the crack that I didn't install any trainers. This is the nostalgia crack that I'm playing, for those wondering. If I can find a cleaner version, I like copies without trainers and intros and stuff lately. That's what I'm looking for. It's also easier to work on usually because there's no fancy decrunching happening and stuff, you know? If I need to work on it. For example, we fixed Jumpman on the Mega 65 and we fixed Frantic Freddy on the Mega 65. Frantic Freddy is the honorable mention. I talked about that earlier. I will get into that maybe after this, after the top 10 finishes. Yeah? But Frantic Freddy is a 1983 game, lovely music, great game. It would have gone really high on this list, I'm going to assume, because it's just good, simple fun, but we can't really play it on the Mega 65. And did Kid Grid just crash? Oh my god! Well, little asterisk on this one. Will it play on the Mega 65? Technically, Jeffrey has played this on the Mega 65 a couple of times already, but I think this is not the first time I see it crash. Ooh. Now the inner Jeffrey, the inner 8-bit show and tell comes. Let's at least see for a bit where it's crashed. If it is doing something very funky here. It is in the 5D79 space. Okay, we can hold the thing. This is a weird moment in this video, guys. Jeffrey going into his 8-bit show and tell mode. Okay, we're stepping now through the CPU. We're seeing what it is doing. It is in a loop. Will it ever break out of that loop? Well, let's look at the X, Y, and... Okay, I don't see the X moving. What is it comparing? It's loading, comparing, doing a lot of comparing. Loading, comparing, loading. Oh, did I disable the steps? This looks a bit better, maybe, technically, yes. BCS. Does it ever leave this BCS? I don't think so. LDA. Oh, it loads something from the CDA chip again. CDA. CIA chip. If I'm not mistaken. I think that is the registers where Frantic Freddy also was having loads of trouble. Something to dive into. And I will bring this up with the Mega 65 community so that we can play Kid Grid on our C65 in the future. Yeah? Okay, thank you for... No. Let's continue to top 2. I'll leave this in. This was planned ahead of time. It used to work for me on the C65, Mega 65. Right now, asterisks. Ooh, weird entry in the top 3. Moving on. Number 2. Oil's Well. Oh yeah, I freaking love this, guys. This is a great game. There's a little raster glitchy thingy in the title here, but that is all good. That is something we don't care about. We're going to continue playing regular. Apparently, since we used the joystick to change the difficulty, this is a port 1 game. We're just playing regular, yes. Okay, if you've been following the journey with the Jeffrey, the Level Up with Jeffrey channel, we're basically active only since about, well, let's say we're doing this for 8-9 months, I'm going to say. I think during those months I've never booted this up, but this is I think the demo's starting. Jeffrey wants to play. Stop it. There we go. But this is... I always come back to this one. So, yeah. For the channel I do now, yeah. Oh yeah, we can eat this, guys. And if you want to get massive points, you have to get these chalices. These fleshy chalices. If you eat a dot like this, everything becomes slow. You basically don't want them to run over your... yeah, what is it? Your line, your pipe. These enemies can't cross that. And you saw the other fleshy thing, the fleshy chalice you can pick up, the fleshy drop, whatever that is. It's probably acid or something. That you can't eat, no. And this game is also for the quick hands. It is very great, very responsive. I can play this very well as well, but also very long. I can have like a 45-minute session. That can actually, I'm not sure, maybe that is a full game. if you go really wild and be really great at it, then yeah, it will be a marathon playing this game. But usually if I then die, you know, after a long session, Jeffrey's not finished yet, Jeffrey wants to continue. It's that kind of game. It's very addictive. And it plays well on your C65, yes. Of course, I'm now making a mess of it. I'm not concentrating, and I haven't played this in a while, I have to say. Like I said, it's been 9 months or something that Jeffrey played this with you guys. Well, with other guys on a different channel, perhaps. The channel that is now discontinued. I hope you can get a feel for it, how nice this plays. If you're lucky, we can still finish up the level. That's what Jeffrey was accomplishing on his set of lives. But yeah, don't do what Jeffrey does and lose all your lives. But hey, level changes in the feel, and there will also be yeah, little things in the ground later as well. Just adding a bit of spice, and oh man, this is awesome. Best game, almost. We have one more to go. Which one will it be? It's Wizard of War!
Yay!
Oh, that is the arcade flyer. We have an arcade flyer. I don't know how we picked this up, but we actually paid money for this, I think. Yeah, my brother was involved in the purchase of some goodies. And this one came up and it was like, oh, he's also a big fan of Wizard of War. I have the cartridge here, which we will play on the Mega 65, which is on right now, which is stupid. We're putting this into the machine. We also have the Magic Voice, but I seem to have misplaced the Magic Voice. I will leave links, guys, in the description to a lot of stuff that we've covered today. Not maybe to direct downloads, but maybe to sites where you can download, or you can search and download these games. But also to videos, like games that are already covered on the channel or on a different channel. There is on my old channel a setup with the Magic Voice Wizard of War on the Commodore 64 original hardware. So I will dig that up and put it in the description. But hey, Wizard of War, is that visible? Yes, in the Mega 65, and I can show you by holding the no scroll key. If I'm not mistaken. I've been all over the place today that I don't know my Mega 65 anymore. I have a wine to celebrate the #1 game on this system. Yeah, my cartridge definitions are gone. But we're booting up the cartridge now through the Mega 65 core. So this is how it should play on your Mega 65. See? Fuck! It's so weird that my cartridge thingies are gone. Wait, we have to fix that. So, we go to the no scroll, yes. Power cycle the machine. Go to the no scroll. We go to our core, yes. We do Control 1. We don't have to go to our core, we just do Control 1. And we say 3. Flick on that little thingy there. There's a plus symbol now. And I think if I now say flash slot, Shift F8, yeah, it just flashes those first things in as settings into the core. Cool. Now it also says on the right C64 next to the M65, which is the Mega 65 cartridges, that it boots up in this slot. How many people will configure this with the C64 for Mega 65 core? Making the Mega 65, which is an FPGA based machine, also a Commodore 64. And then if you have the C64 tag on the end, then your cartridge will boot up into the Commodore 64 mode. But then this is not a Commodore 65 anymore, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know what the next iteration of the Mega 65 looks like. If it is ever becoming a reality, I don't know. Maybe the next thing will just be Mega 65 R9, because we had R3, R6, and then R9. Or maybe it stops with what we currently have, the R6 badge. Hey, I don't know. I can't look into a crystal ball and look into the future because I don't have those skills. Enough blabbing. Let's show you the #1 game that I would recommend to everyone to play on your Commodore 65. Hot damn. This is a beauty. Oh, by the way, there are 2 versions of Wizard of War on the Commodore 64. Be mindful. The other one is, I think, a 1982 game by Commodore themselves. And this one is also by Commodore themselves. I think they did 2 on them. Yeah, I never really read into it. What is the story behind that? But the first one is a complete fuck up. Okay, I booted up the game in joystick port 2, which starts the 2-player mode. So port 1 is player 1. Let's do it proper and start up a player 1 game by going port 1, press the button there, and now only the yellow guy should be there. Guys, this is... I can't tell you how great this is. It's snappy. Snappy controls, yes. It is fast. It is arcade true, and I think the arcade is as good, but I prefer the Commodore 64 version. Not that there are a lot of differences, to be honest. But I've played ZX Spectrum stuff. I've played, I think, even Amiga and some weird shit on PC. It's all not it. This is the best thing ever to play, and the arcade, yes, also very, very good. But I don't have an actual arcade sitting here, right? I only have the flyer. Bringing me to any boxed copies of Wizard of War, man, I would love to have one so badly. It's yeah. We have the magic voice, we have the cartridge, we have this flyer. It shows that we really love the game. Whew, I almost died there. If you kill the enemy before the bullet reaches you, then their bullet despawns. Despawns from skiing. What's happening? It's the wine. Fuck! So quick to die! No, Jeffrey, come on! You can play this way better. That's horrible, guys. Why do I die so quickly? Well, I've been playing a lot of other shit today. That's my defense. Eh? Okay, come with the war. Ha! Points! I have ice cubes in my wine, yeah. Zal wel op lab for a sec. Celebrating! What am I doing? Playing horrible. That's what I'm doing. It was okay. You can sort of walk into the enemies as long as you don't get in front of them, in their mouth, and not in their bullets. Then you're fine. You can sort of walk into them from the back. But it looked horrible. I was confused what I was doing there. A Kid Jeffrey tactic was going in a tight spot like this and then and let them come to you, right? That is it's an okay tactic. It's an okay tactic. But especially if they're not walking that fast, it's better to hunt them down. Get good at that. You play a better game, trust me. Also, staying in these long corridors, if you can handle it at some point, because you can only have one bullet out at any time. So if one bullet is traveling, you can't defend your ass if something walks up to you there. But you get better at it. Sniping these guys from long distances and staying safe. I kid you not. Up. Ooh, another Wizard of War. So I'm sort of guesstimating when he comes up and then making the bullet land. It's an acquired skill. I will link 2 videos. One with the magic voice set up and another one where I have my best run. I have to look at levelupscore.com, a high score website that I host and coded for. And the guy is keeping the community alive because Jeffrey is never there, but I sometimes step in if there are technical issues, and sometimes I post a score. And sometimes I can be active there for a couple of months, but since the YouTubes, no, not that much anymore. Yeah, you can only have so many hobbies at the same time, right? But I will post another video that will be my best attempt at this game, and it was well played. But I have to say, I've been sinking a lot of hours into this game. We had our music nights back in the day, but I'm talking now 5 years ago, more. We still did music, at least my brother and I. Fuck! I did this really wrong. I'm not going to even explain what was wrong there. Because I saw it happening. Well, you're slow as hell with your guy. You need to know what you're doing, where you're standing, and what is going to happen or not. You need to be on top of your game in this game. Hey. I was talking about my brother. What Jeffrey blabbing about. He also loves this game, probably. I don't know anymore. Fuck! Always happens to me, right? I do this a lot. I'm in a story, I get distracted, I don't finish my story. Or I am in a story and I go down a rabbit hole and then never get to the original point of the story. That's also me. I'm really good at those things. Pew! That doesn't happen on the Commodore 64. This one. It's a Mega 65 bug. This thing is, by the way, better played with the Mega 65 setup in the newer SID version, the 8680 or something, not the 65 something, not the old version of the SID. Jeffrey would have loved it to sound like the old SID, but the Mega 65 is having trouble with this game and its sounds, in the way it is doing the sounds. And someone recommended me switching to the other chip, the newer chip, and indeed it does play tons better with this chip enabled. So, of course, we don't know in the future if there is an iteration of the Commodore 65 and what the chip handling situation then is. Because I know someone on the Discord was working on mapping the SID chip again into the core, porting it over sort of from the Commodore 64 for Mega 65 core, or basically the Mr. core, because that is actually again a iteration from Mr., the Mr. project. Which the FPGA guys might know, eh? Perhaps, maybe. Quite an important project. If you've missed it as an FPGA user, then you probably have been sleeping under a rock, yes, yeah. Jeffrey is not natively, or not coming from an FPGA enthusiast background. I sort of came into this because of this being a Commodore 65 replica, right? But I started to get very hyped about FPGA. I'm already an FPGA fanboy for a bit, but I still don't own a Mister. I do have Mister-based things going on here. I mean, the cores to the Mega 65 are ported from the Mister project, so hey. I don't know what is in, for example, should I spoil it already? But I have a Game Boy coming in, guys. Now the question is which one? Will it be the Analog Pocket or will it Palmer Lucky's Mod Retro stuff, right? I'll leave that for another video, I suppose, once it's in. But yeah, but both devices went online recently, I noticed. And I ordered only one of those because I didn't have more money to spend. These things are expensive. Another fun story about that is I basically wasted all my money on a Game Boy FPGA machine, and then Mr. Perifractic buys Commodore and drops this golden Commodore 64 based on FPGA Ultimate 64 Magic. God damn it! And Jeffrey didn't have any monies anymore to support this nice device. So we're looking into ways how to fund that before they run out of stock. Pre-order stock. It does say in the batch number that there is like, yeah, there's a 1 in there, which makes the assumption that there is also going to be a second batch of golden ones. Who knows? That would be awesome to be in on the first batch. I mean, I want to support that shit. Come on. But we're figuring out a way to fund that, to find the funds for that, get the funding going for that. However you may call it, I don't know. It's the wine talking. I've always all of a sudden started to play better or not. I wasted 2 lives along the way, but we're still alive. I'm taking it a tad slower now, yeah. Whew. I was at risk there. If the guy would have moved up, which could sometimes that can happen with the AI, yes. Then his bullet would have gotten me, and I wouldn't have gotten him. Yeah, see, I've been blabbing that I was doing good, and then that happens, of course. Jesus. As always with Jeffrey, I don't think I'm going to finish Dungeon 13. That is like a special level, the pit. If you finish that, you basically beat the game. Then it's sort of looping through same-ish levels and shit. The randomization becomes like a pattern. And every so many levels you deal with the pit again, I think. Not even sure. Ooh, yeah, the freaking bullet. Game over at Dungeon 9. It was sort of a warm-up game. Normally, I have to do a warm-up game to get really into it, to get into my flow. I think I've shown I do play a mean game of Wizard of War. Hopefully. And otherwise check the video if you don't believe me, god damn it. This, guys, my top recommendation to play in a Commodore 65. If you are trying to navigate the 1983 era. It's a special era of gaming, I have to say. I mean, nothing scrolls really even. We did have... I don't know if it's a 1983 game and if it popped up for me or not, but I would have skipped it anyhow. Jungle Hunt. That one has a bit of scrolling going on, yes. Yeah. It is a special era of gaming, and I think when the really scrolling happened, that was sort of the next era of 8-bit gaming. And yeah, Nintendo was doing it, Commodore 64s were doing it, the ZX Spectrum was probably not doing it. Oh, they had a harder time with the machine. Yes, no hardware acceleration. If they did scrolling, it was an impressive feat. I should boot up the Next sometime again, because I've been ignoring that device. Also an FPGA-based machine, by the way. But hey, links in the descriptions. Leave some comments about Jeffrey's awful gameplay and his awful selection of games. Recommend me your games. But hey, remember the criteria. It has to play in the Mega 65, right? Hey, be careful. Otherwise Jeffrey roasts you in a short or something. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Cheers.
Are you leveling up with the Jeffrey? 'Cause the Jeffrey's leveling up with you!